Ah, come in. I have a special assignment that requires a delicate touch. A science ship on patrol in grid Beta 53-30 received an encrypted message from the Voth. This wasn't a message from a military ship or the Voth leadership. This was an encoded short-ranged burst from a Voth science outpost. I think we may have a friend in the enemy's ranks. It'd be best if any communication from our side didn't come from our leadership, for reasons you'll soon see. I want you to pursue a dialogue with this individual. See if we can turn them into an ally. That is all. I'm trying to contact any member of the mammalian occupying force who is willing to open negotiations. I am Nelen of the Voth Circle of Archaeology, and I believe that we have common scientific goals that can only be achieved without the interference of our respective militaries. Working alongside the best minds of the Voth Circles of Science, I have been studying this celestial structure, its function and its original inhabitants. Our work has yielded some troubling information for those seeking to uphold the doctrine that we are the original intelligent species in the Delta Quadrant. The Voth Ministry of Elders maintains that science is only valid if it supports their own fictions of history. I've lost too many colleagues to this terrible government censorship. What I've been able to discover on my own and away from government interruptions is that this sphere was created by a race under direct control of a species called the Iconians. Even ignoring the huge cache of records we found here, the mere existence of this sphere proves that there are powerful entities my government refuses to acknowledge, perhaps to our ultimate doom. I will not be so naive. Left high and dry by my own people, I am left with few options. There must be a sympathetic ear out there that realizes we have entered the nest of an enemy that neither of us are prepared to face alone. I was pleased to receive your message, even if I have to keep this conversation a secret from everyone I know. There are many topics that have been deemed controversial and off-limits. Inquisitors examine our work on a regular basis, but questions need to be asked if we are to maintain any sort of scientific credibility. Have you ever wondered at the fact that both our people were able to enter this sphere from opposite ends? That we could move through halls, through rooms, through entire buildings without finding another living thing? Until we encountered one another. The Ministry of Elders would have me publish papers claiming that this sphere was created by our ancestors. But why would they abandon this place? Why would anyone abandon this place? As far as I can tell, this place was commissioned but not built by a race called the Iconians. A war forced them to abandon their home in favor of this more strategic location. Imagine how many fleets of warships could fit inside here, fed by food grown on thousands of hectares of carefully constructed surfaces, powered by the entire energy of a star, and all waiting to ambush from the dark space of the night sky. The Voth are not warmongers. We have taught doctrine to weaker species, but weapons are usually not required. When the Voth have encountered opposition, we have resisted attempts by others to add us to their own ranks. Fights between evenly matched adversaries tend to be futile. A sphere might convince some that the odds have shifted in our favor. Which brings us back to my first question. Why did the original inhabitants of the sphere leave? Did they feel safe and pick a fight against a superior enemy and lose? Or were they forced to leave by some internal flaw in their fortress? We may all be doomed to the fate of those who lived here before if we aren't careful.
End of file.
Hello. Thank you for continuing to remind me that there are other sane minds out there. My concerns about the dangers of the Sphere's technology have fallen on deaf ears. In rebuttal, I'm fed propaganda about the Sphere's Voth origins and how easy my job should be. But how easy can a job be if I'm constantly being interrupted by alarms and avoiding catastrophes? In my lab, the Ministry of Elders and their Inquisitor lackeys have installed accomplices who are willing to answer yes when I say no. Advancement is their only goal, not reason, not discovery, and certainly not safety. Unfortunately, they are rarely up to the tasks for which they volunteer. But the problems may be bigger than incompetent lab techs. No one here wants to hear that we may not be capable of using this technology, or that the cost of trying could be the destruction of this entire sector of space. The builders of this sphere aren't here to tell us the results of their experiments, but I'm convinced that something did go terribly wrong. There is evidence of a celestial trauma that has significantly reduced the energy output from this installation's central star. Add to that the fact that the spires have been optimized for a different spectral band than the one that this star produces, and we're left with strong evidence of a large-scale industrial accident. Such an accident would explain why this place was abandoned. I've conducted a detailed scan of one of the spires and found trace amounts of tetryon particles. Any industrial accident large enough to leave these trace tetryon particles thousands of years afterwards would have permeated all organic life caught in the blast, with enough tetrionic energy to force any survivors to retreat to subspace. So, if the creators of this technology weren't savvy enough to prevent such a huge disaster, what chance do my people or yours have to do any better? I fear this technology. I fear it in not just the wrong hands, but in any hands. We need to work together to make sure no one tries to activate the sphere. Our lives may depend on it.
End of file.
I'm sorry for the delay in my response, but I needed to take extra precautions with my communications. After another round of disastrous tests in combining Voth and Sphere technologies, I was offered up as a scapegoat. I am no longer a member of the Voth Circle of Archaeology. But I've been doing this for so long, it's hard to stop keeping an eye on my former colleagues' experiments. Now my curiosity is tinged with a hint of fear. Their findings may be corrupted. When it was discovered that the Omega particles generated by this structure were sent to collection sites in the outer shell, the first thought was to blindly jumpstart this process, rather than to methodically determine its purpose. I'm afraid our leaders are so entranced by the perceived benefits of this advanced technology, they are willing to forego common-sense safety measures. Luckily, there are a few of us left who make safe and sane actions our primary objective. And luckier still, there are enough of your ships and soldiers causing problems inside our defensive lines that my actions are blamed on you. I'm not alone in this opinion. Our superiors are pushing hard to unlock this technology. There's a perceived lack of progress, and they are trying to make up for lost time. I'm sure you understand gravity as it applies to physics. But it also has a social component. When our leadership feels pressure, it is quickly felt by those below them. First by the military, then by the citizenry. The Voth have never taken kindly to dissenters. But there is no comparison between those who speak out against doctrine back home and those who fight for basic scientific inquiry here and now. I fear I'll be discovered at any moment, but I fear even more that the work I'm doing won't continue on. Please stay safe.
End of file.
We've intercepted new Voth military communications. I think they've outed your contact.
One file received at 0530 hours today.
I'm sad at the thought that this may be my final transmission. I've enjoyed our talks together, but I came across something tonight that is too important to leave to chance. I was recently assigned to the Circle of Material Sciences. Apparently, my expertise in using isotopes to date archaeological finds means I'm an expert in chemistry, at least to a military personnel officer. One disadvantage of keeping disciplines separate based on expertise is a lack of shared knowledge, where my new colleagues added footnotes about inverted tetryon particles. I saw a connection to omega molecules, a connection of which they were unaware. On a small scale, my hypothesis yielded a small rift. Applied to the scale of this entire facility, this sphere was built to travel through subspace, across the galaxy. The Voth leadership was excited to learn of this discovery as well. Imagine an entire solar system full of ships hiding inside this sphere. Imagine teleporting them anywhere in the galaxy in an instant. I assure you there are Voth battle plans in the works right now using this strategy. My species is under attack near our home sector. The fighting has reached a stalemate, but there are still lives being lost on both sides. Every option is being examined to bring an end to the fighting, even the most extreme. I've seen reports on weaponizing omega molecules to destroy large swaths of subspace and lock our enemies into their own parts of space. I must put an end to my people's pursuit of such disastrous weaponry. I will not have a part in isolating the Voth race by making space unnavigable, even at the price of a continuing war. My work with the Voth is finished. Hope I will not follow suit.
End of file.
Go get him. Maybe you can find him before his people do.
How's it going, everyone? Nelen45 here with some more Star Trek Online. Okay, so if you just watched the whole long, about 10-12 minute thing that was before right now, then you know everything that's happened in the Dyson reputation. If you chose to skip that, here's what's going on. We are doing the Unsaid Thanks mission. That is for the Dyson Tier 5 reputation. I just hit it today, woo! Oh, I forgot to choose that. Okay, now, woo! Okay, so we're gonna go, locate Nelen in the ship. I mean, Allied space thing. Let's go! I've been working on the Dyson rep for quite a while now, so this is kind of exciting that I'm doing this. We need to find him. What is this? Supply problems. I don't want no supply problems. Where am I supposed to find this guy? Well, it says that way. Oh, there. Okay. So, I like that! I heard that they added the new recitiles. Recitile? I think that's how you pronounce it. In the game for that. Let's use evasive maneuvers because I want to get there faster. So anyway, this Unsaid Thanks mission, I doubt you can replay it because I kind of know what the reward is for finishing this mission. I kind of cheated and went online last night to find out what it was, and I found some guy who was on the forums that finally said what it was. So I'm pretty psyched to get it, and if you don't know what it is yet, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it until I get it. provided we actually get there. But yeah. Also, when I show off what it is in just a few minutes, I'll also show you that ability that I got from the reputation just a moment ago with this the Defiance. I'll show you that in a little bit as well. So Nelen Exil should be right about here or so. I don't see anything. Oh. Oh, it's the destroyed ship. How lovely. Oh, wait. Hey, escape craft. Really? No dialogue. Okay. Thank you for finding me. I've been hiding out in the debris, hoping the Voth brethren won't discover me first. After everything that's happened, I feel the tremendous guilt for... sorry. Forked tongue. Furthering any Voth plans that could result in destruction of massive scale. If they will you shut up? What is that? What are you... Okay, just try to ignore that. I'm sorry, I can't turn it off. What? No, not you! Okay. I feel the destruction, massive scale. If they succeeded, we could lose the galaxy. It's too terrible even to contemplate. Perhaps I could join your crew and aid in your efforts to keep such destructive technologies out of your hands. Who would abuse them? If you'll have me, that is. And this is all the rewards you get. You get a whole bunch of experience. You get 750 Dyson marks. I don't know if you get more than just one Boss Cybernetic implants. You get 32,000 dilithium, which, by the way, is not refined. You get 48,000 energy credits, and you get the Voth Bridge Officer Candidate. Science. Very rare. Let's go! Woo! And you suddenly have yellow eyes. Okay, greetings. Yeah. So, yeah, okay, we got what's his face. Let's go see what this guy. Actually, no, I'm just gonna say join, because I really want you. Yeah, we can't change his outfit apparently, which is sad, but that's fine. So let's go take a look at this guy, and I'll also show off that new ability that I got. Okay, and we're back. So now that we're on ground instead of space, I can show you all this new stuff that we got, and by all this new stuff, I mean two things. So let's get started with that. Okay, so first, let's talk about Nelen Exil here. Ignore that giant 2 and an arrow on him. Just ignore that. Anyway, so let's talk about Nelen here. Okay, so he's a pretty neat bridge officer actually, but very specific for his role that he's intended to play. He comes, with basic stuff, no armor, basic shields, 2 hypos, which apparently he already used one for no apparent reason, even though we had 3 before. Anyway, so yeah, progress, all that kind of stuff. This is health. I mean, he has 506 base health, which, pretty standard. So here are his skills. He is initially trained with Medical Tricorder 1, Tachyon Harmonics 2, Vascular Regenerator 2, and Nanite Health Monitor 1. So he's pretty much a medic ground for space. He's got Tractor Beam 1, Hazard Emitters 2, Charge Particle Burst 2, and Gravity Well 3. So Gravity Well 3, that's actually kind of nice, since you don't see that too often. Nothing in the biography. I was kind of hoping there was going to be something like base in the biography, but I guess they didn't put that in. So here's the interesting part, though. This is where this guy... No, I don't want to see his crotch. No. There we go. So this is where he gets a little more interesting. So he's got a couple different things. He's got Superior Creative, which increases kit powers and healing shield and hit points, which is nice. And he also got Superior Covert, which is 30% stealth and exploit damage, which I don't really know why he has that as a science officer, but whatever. Now here are the two things, and both of these two unique traits are, well, exactly as they say, they're unique to this particular bridge officer, the Organic Sedatives. Now, what this does is it fired from their wrists, and it causes enemies to freeze, essentially. It reduces their run speed for 5 seconds and 2 to their stuns, so it's pretty good. It has a 12-meter range, which is decent, I suppose. And here's the other one, Suspended Animation. Now, you might not understand what this is exactly, but let me explain this. Essentially, okay, I should get one since I'm a lifetime member, and I don't have my, what's it called, Android officer just yet, but he has essentially the same ability, but this one's Voth. So, what this does is that when he dies, he will die, but if this ability is on cooldown, he will get up again. And as Voth light soldiers, you may have noticed in the past, they tend to not stay dead very often, which is very annoying. But as a bridge officer, I suppose that's actually a good thing. So yeah, he essentially can resurrect himself every like 90 seconds or so, and so that's actually pretty good. I think that's a good reason to have. And if you look at all these, you happen to notice that all of these are ground traits. He has no space traits, which is unfortunate, but you know, the Voth and Dyson update for Season 9, it was pretty much ground oriented anyway. I mean, there is the whole allied space and whatever, but it's the battle zone that most people play. I think that's at least what I play a lot. So yeah. And now, so, yeah, that's about it for Nelen here. Other than, yeah, he's a Voth. Huh. He's a Voth there, and I mean, he looks pretty cool, I think. You know, it's neat to have him. I don't really care for token bridge officers all that much, most of the time. But, I think that this guy, I like this guy on my crew. I think he's pretty cool. And, I mean, you gotta work really hard to get this guy. He's not like the Jemadar, or Riemann, or Breen, or Borg bridge officers you can get. Like, they're fairly easy to get. This guy takes a lot of work to get, especially if you're not using a sponsorship. One other thing I forgot to mention, actually, as I was looking at him, I remembered. He comes with a special weapon. Now, this looks like it's just a normal, Voth anti-proton wide beam pistol, but it's not. This is actually a modified version of it. This is Nelen Exile's wide beam pistol Mark 11 damage. So, if you look onto the info of this, you'll notice it says, whatever his name, personal sidearm, modified Voth, wide beam pistol, augmented to allow additional power to pass through each beam. This pistol deals more damage with each shot. So, this, I think it's essentially better than the one you can get, like, off the exchange or from the lockboxes. So it's green, but I don't know why it's green. But I think I'm gonna keep it on him. I was thinking about getting him a different weapon, maybe plasma, but I like that he has currently. So yeah, that's about it for Nelen there. Now for this last thing that we're gonna talk about, that's at the Tier 5 reputation. I know I'm rambling quite a bit. Is the Defiance. Now this is a ground ability that I'm unfortunately cannot show you right now. If I was, near death, I could probably show you, but anyway. What it does is, when it activates, it regenerates 29.1 health every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. It gives you 33 all damage for 20 seconds. And here's the great part, it gives you 1000 damage resistance rating, which makes you pretty much invincible. If you look, well, you can't look actually because it's bugged, but if you've ever played with the Hunker Down ability that comes with the Dyson set, it essentially has that same thing where it stupidly increases your damage resistance rating and makes you next to impossible to kill. I've tried it once, it's pretty awesome. And so that's what that does. Now, the one thing, though, with this is that you can only activate it if your health is below 50%. So, it's pretty much, it's a butt saver. And I do like my butt savers. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much it for the Dyson reputation. Took me quite a while to get here. And they've just released the new cutscene, which you probably saw, or may not have saw, I don't know, the other day. At the beginning of this video, or you may see it for yourself. You may have wanted to skip it so you didn't spoil it, so whatever. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed this video. That's a brief overview of the cool stuff you get, and the mission, and all that kind of stuff you get. When you hit Tier 5, Dyson Reputation, finally, got it. Whew. Anyway, also, if any of you were wondering where we are right now, you might notice this looks like the Defiance, but this is actually supposed to be aboard the Mahalo. I'm playing Darkness Under Veil right now, which is my Foundry mission that I released a while back. I'll let you go. You don't have to stand there anymore. That's why Gareth is over here. I'll leave a link to the videos I did on this mission, and so yeah, I thought it was a pretty neat place to show off Nelen and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.